Well, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Sorry to bring the conversation to an end, but it's great to see all of you this morning. My name's Jason Castor. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer for the law firm of Parsons, Bailey & Latimer and the President of ACG Utah. Want to extend a huge thanks to all of you for coming out and joining us for May's Speaker Series Forum and Breakfast. It's nice to get back and do these breakfasts in person. We did our first in-person event last April, and we intend to move forward in an in-person and virtual live streaming format as we move forward. A big thanks to our friends from Redirect and Lone Peak Productions for helping us with the live stream. And for those of you that are joining us live stream today, we hope to see you at an in-person event in the future. Just by way of show of hands and out of curiosity, how many of you are here for the first time today? Okay, so about a third of the group. So by way of background, ACG stands for Association for Corporate Growth. And our objective is to bring together capital providers, lenders, intermediaries, C-suite executives, and business owners to create a robust middle market ecosystem, one that's focused on facilitating deal flow and helping Utah businesses grow and succeed. So thanks again for coming out and joining us. As a reminder, our speaker series forums take place the second Tuesday of every month. We will continue, as I mentioned, in person through July of this year. And I want you to know that our board is really committed to providing all of our members and guests with very uncommon experiences, as well as providing opportunities to bring people together and create meaningful relationships. We do that through our breakfast series. We do that through our golf tournament. We do that through our Intermountain Growth Summit and Deal Source Summit that took place last March. And we'll be announcing a few new events as it relates to CFO forums and CEO forums coming up in the coming months. But this year, in terms of our Speaker Series Forum, we've been really fortunate to hear from a lot of great CEOs and founders, including Carl Sutton from Lucid, Sam Maloof from Maloof, Davis Smith, Cotopaxi, Jeremy Pope, KNS International, Morten Steen Jorgensen, ReadyWise, Derek Porter from Beauty Industry Group, and today we've got a great speaker that's going to be a great addition to this lineup. So now I'd like to segue really into the heart of our agenda. And each of you on your chairs or on your table have an agenda that we're going to follow as we move through today's program. But I'd like to extend a big thanks to Ryan Porter. Ryan is the CEO, president, and co-founder of LiveView Technologies. Ryan, thanks a lot to you and your team back in the corner for being with us today. It's great to see such a nice turnout from LiveView. We're really excited to have you here with us today, Ryan, and we look forward to your presentation in just a moment. Before I turn the time over to Ryan, I'd like to segue into the next part of our agenda. And cover a couple chapter items that are important for us to cover this morning. So before I do that, is Bill Kurth still here? Bill's hiding in the back. I'd like to turn the time over to Bill. Bill is going to go around and do new member announcements and upcoming events. So Bill, I'll turn the time to you and let you go from each table. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of the guests that have joined us this morning for the first time. The next thing I'd like to do is recognize and thank our new and renewing members. Our newest member, Annie Lee, is Annie here? I thought she was going to be here this morning. Well, welcome to Annie Lee from AJX LLC. Our renewing members include Spence Houle from Diversified Insurance, Alex Eaton, Community Foundation of Utah, Craig Lundskog from Great Basin Industrial, and Zach Nugent from Scalar. So a big thanks to all of our new members, all of our renewing members. We really appreciate your continued support of ACG Utah. And as Bill mentioned, for those of you that aren't members, please feel free to talk to Linda Blake, our executive director, out at the registration desk, or any one of our ACG board members with a green ribbon on his or her badge. And we'd be happy to provide you with more information about how to get involved with ACG. The second item I'd like to cover is that it's really important to note that ACG Utah is a volunteer-led and sponsor-driven organization. And without the tremendous support of ACG Utah's board of directors, a variety of committee members that help us move everything forward, and our sponsors, events like today's breakfast would not be possible. So I'd like to take just a second to acknowledge and recognize our speaker series sponsors. Our platinum sponsors include Diversified Insurance, Grant Thornton, Parsons, Bailey & Latimer, and Zions Bank. Our gold sponsors include Bank of America, BDO, Chase, KeyBank, and Wells Fargo. And last but certainly not least, our in-kind sponsors include iHeartMedia, KUER, Lone Peak Productions and Redirect, who are taking care of our video production back there and live streaming, and Yesco Outdoor Media. So please join me in a round of applause to thank all of our sponsors. And finally, I'd like to recognize and thank today's focus sponsor, Parsons, Bailey & Latimer. One of our speaker series sponsor benefits is to spotlight all of our sponsors throughout our breakfast series and our speaker series. Parsons has been a tremendous sponsor for ACG Utah, and we really appreciate its ongoing and long-term support. So with that, I'd like to welcome my colleagues, Matthew Van Wagner, who will provide an overview of the firm, and Bruce White, who will be introducing our keynote speaker. So Matthew, I know you're here. I'll turn the time and floor over to you. So come on up. It's all you. Go again.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you, ACG, for giving Parsons the opportunity to be one of the platinum sponsors and to have a little highlight of the law firm. I'm Matthew Van Wagner, as Jason said. I'm a corporate associate with the law firm Parsons, Bailey & Latimer, and I've been there about 4 years now. I know Parsons really has benefited from its partnership and affiliation with ACG, and it's been great to be kind of mentored along by Jason and by Bruce to these events and to meet some of you. It's also been a great thing for our clients. I've actually had one of our clients has already reached out to me about the ACG golf tournament because they were upset last year that they didn't get to play in it. So they're looking forward to that event this year, hopefully. A little overview of Parsons Bailey for those who are not familiar with it or need to be more familiar with it. Parsons was founded in the 19th century here in Utah and helped incorporate some of the oldest and most well-known companies here in Utah. I don't know, as of today, we either have the first or second most attorneys in the state. We have 2 offices here in the state, just right across the street right here, one in Lehigh. We have 2 offices in Idaho, an office in Nevada, and a new office now in Montana. As you can imagine, with that many of attorneys, we're a full-service law firm. We provide a variety of different services, but I just kind of wanted to focus briefly of the services that we offer in the corporate context, kind of in mine and Bruce's world. We like to stay up to date and in contact with entrepreneurial hubs in the state, especially at the University of Utah down in BYU, to kind of keep a pulse on some emerging companies and emerging trends and industries. In the middle market, it's kind of our bread and butter. We provide mergers and acquisition services, equity and asset deals, intellectual property protection, financings, corporate and strategic restructurings. We've had a focus at the firm recently to increase our fund formation, and that has been a success in the last 6 months. What I think is the main difference with Parsons is the people that work there. For those who are familiar with ACG and Jason and Bruce, you know the kind of people you get to work with at Parsons. So I know that LiveView Technologies had a great experience with Bruce and some of the other attorneys there. And so if you need a testimonial, just go up to them. And thanks for your time, and I'll just turn it over to Bruce.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce to you Ryan Porter. Ryan is the CEO and co-founder of LiveView Technologies. And as I have gotten to know Ryan and his team, what a great group. This is a company that has grown significantly. And, you know, a real test of a company is to be able to survive a downturn. And LiveView Technologies not only survived a few downturns, but have thrived. And so it's a really pleasure to be able to introduce to you Ryan, the CEO of LiveView. I want to step back for just a moment, though, and I want to tell you a little bit about Ryan. He grew up in Southern California, had a love and passion for the ocean. And what's interesting is he even had a dream of living on a boat. Yet, he hates seafood to the point where he has ordered many hamburgers at the finest seafood restaurants around the world. Ryan has an amazing grasp of geography. So after this, I want each of you to test him and test him with his knowledge of the waterways in the United States. And let's see how well he does. Ryan has an amazing bubble. It's extremely large. And if you need a hug, just go see Ryan. He will hug you until you've had enough. You know, the success really behind Ryan, though, is his wife, Jackie. Jackie and Ryan have 4 children. Their oldest, Casey, she's 19. She is going to UVU, Ryan's alma mater, where he studied finance. Casey also works for LiveView Technology, and really, she's the one I wanted to talk to, but they wouldn't let me have access to her for some reason. They also have a son named Brock. He's 17, a junior at Provo High. Haley, who is 15, she's a freshman. Their youngest, Kate, is 11, a 6th grader. Ryan worked in finance, worked in construction. That's where Ryan saw the need for surveillance of residential properties. And that's where he and Bob started HomeView Technology in 2005. And when the housing bubble burst, they pivoted the company and focused the company on commercial. I'm not going to tell you much more about LiveView Technology. I want Ryan to do that. And you'll see the passion that Ryan has about this company. So with that, please welcome Ryan Porter.
working? All right. So I'm not a hugger, and I don't know geography at all. They like to make fun of me. For Christmas, Dave sent out shirts to everybody in the company because last year my quote of the year, what was it, Dave?
How far is Baltimore from Maryland?
Yeah. It's like, we got to go to Maryland. We've got a system in Baltimore. How do we get there? How long is that going to take? He thought that was pretty funny. So, hey, first of all, let me just set a timer here. Thank you to Bruce at Parsons Bailey, Latimer. We worked with Bruce and team last year on a transaction that we did and became very comfortable with nights and weekends, and were able to complete it by a deadline. So great job there. Look forward to working with you and each of you in the future. So thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it. All right, so as you can tell by the introduction that Dave did for me, we're a company, we don't take ourselves too serious. We like to have fun, we like to enjoy work, we like going to work, and they just told me that they submitted the PowerPoint, and if you've ever seen Impractical Jokers, where they put up a PowerPoint that the speaker doesn't know what's on it, they've just got to roll with it, they said that's what they did. So I apologize in advance if that gets out of control. So as Bruce said, we started the company in 2005. I was in construction financing at the time for a number of years, and really just thought it would be a great idea to have a camera, live video on the projects that we finance, and thought there'd be real value in that. And that was the concept, the idea, and it turned into what is LiveView Technologies today. I want to take a minute and show a quick video that'll really, it's a newer video for us to show what we've done, kind of the outreach that we've had, and a little bit about the company. So we'll start that.
Security is really the most important thing people face, whether it's securing their remote assets or securing their people. LiveView Technologies gives you the means to secure things anywhere in the world.
Security has become an IT problem now. We have cameras, we have sensors, we have all of these devices that for the longest time used to be in a closed world. Now they're on the internet. The challenge now is how do you get all of those devices to work together to provide security, to provide surveillance, to do data acquisition.
We started off really with live streaming video in remote areas. Solar powered, cellular connectivity, be able to get eyes on in any type of environment. We brought in software and started building a software platform, and as that started to take shape and grow, we found a real niche and a need for taking these IoT devices, whether it's cameras or modems or gunshot detection, license plate recognition, and bringing them into one platform. And what we've been able to do is marry hardware and technology in a software platform to really bring a powerful tool to the end user that gives actionable data, information to make decisions on. And that's what we're providing, like no other company has been able to do in the past.
What customers want now is actionable intelligence, actionable data. So what we at LiveView Technologies are focused on is helping our customers see trends and insights into information they didn't have before by using all the data as it's coming in at once.
Anybody who's got issues with power or access to comm links, our technology can answer those issues. Whether it's a solar-based platform on a trailer or a pole or a building mount, and give you technology that's accessible from any cloud-based tool.
We've grown into big box retail, emergency services, oil and gas, critical infrastructure. Really, we're just going everywhere, in every industry.
We're looking for partners to integrate with, expand our IoT development, and really take technology further out on the edge.
This, we've built a new marketing team in the company. We've never had sales or marketing in the past. We just started in the last year. And the marketing team came to me and says, hey, Ryan, we got a problem. And I was like, oh, what's the problem? They said, well, you have a LinkedIn page. And I kind of said, really? I do? And they said, yeah, take a look at this. So they pulled this up. This is just last week. And they said, Ryan, you've got 2 followers. And we need to change that. And I said, really? Well, let's change it. How do we do that? I think Brandon, our HR guy, he brags he's got like 15,000 people that he's linked to or connected to. I'm like, Brandon, I've got 2. And we're going to change it. So my goal for today, if nothing else happens, I want to double this by the end of the day. I want to get to 4. It's a goal I set this morning. And we're going to achieve it. So, again, I say we don't take ourselves too serious. I'm not an IT guy. My kids make fun of me that I'm involved in an IT company and I don't know how things work. It is what it is, right? I have other strengths, I guess. But yeah, just thought that was funny to show. So, what I want to do is kind of tell the story of the company. Bill, he doesn't like the talk so far. You're taking off? All right. Thanks. Safe travels. So what I want to do is kind of tell the story of the company through stories and experiences that we have. I'm not a smart guy that can put a lot of thoughts together that are motivational or I guess I can just take the experiences that we've had and learn from that, good and bad. We've made plenty of bad choices, bad decisions, but we learn from them, and we want to take that. And so I got a few things that I want to go through and kind of tell the story of the company. So the first one is choose wisely. When we started the company, Bob Brenner, who's here, one of the founders in the company, we did finance, obviously, and he came into my office one day and said, hey, do you have any ideas, marketing ideas? And I said, well, I got this idea. I want to put cameras, live video on these construction sites, but it's hard. I'm not an IT guy. I don't know how to figure this out. And we basically became partners at that point. And let me give you the pre-story to that, why we became partners in this choose wisely. Is a lot of people here are in finance, and they understand that when you do financing, you have an interest rate, there's back-end points, and things can change during the transaction when you close. And you get down to the end, and if things change, then you can tell the customer, sorry, your interest rate's gone up, things happen, you want to make more money on the back end, whatever it may be. And I did a couple deals with Bob. I was there to kind of help structure things, and we had done a couple deals, and Bob closed the deal and wrote a check to close the deal because the deal had changed and he lost money on it. And I said, Bob, you're losing money on this. Are you aware of that? You're going to write a check to close this deal. And he said, yeah, I understand that, but I told them this is what we would do, and so I have to honor that. And we all know there's ways to get out of that, right? There's ways to change things. But at that moment, I knew this is a person that I can be a partner with because trust, there's instant trust there, right? Somebody who has the integrity to do that is somebody that I want to be associated with, somebody that I want to work with because they're going to help me. They're going to make me better. And so as we go through business, we have plenty of opportunities to work with others, but we want to find those people that we can really connect with and trust, because if you can trust somebody and take that emotion and mental process and the drama out of a relationship and focus on the business, then you can move a lot faster. And so we've built an awesome team at the company of people that are like-minded. in morals and ethics and personalities, all those type of things. And so our energy goes in to the business and the people and the customers that we have, instead of into drama and politics, if that makes sense. So it's an awesome environment. I love being there, but choose wisely. It makes all the difference in the world. Next one, never quit. All right, I want to tell you a story. Dave Studdard and myself went out to Washington, D.C., and we were going to meet with he was basically the main guy for the Secret Service for technology. And we had developed some technology to have in-vehicle camera that's streaming video and providing a lot of data when vehicles are moving around. So the Secret Service had a lot of interest in that on a cellular connection. So we had this meeting set up. We went to D.C. looking for parking. We ended up parking on the street, the public street right behind the White House. And I want you to try to picture this. Understanding where we were, behind the White House. And we're out of time. We got to get to the meeting. We rented a car. The car had Florida license plates on it, because it was a rental car. We brought this equipment with us that's like a cellular modem and these antennas and a camera and wires and things. And the idea was, let's put this in the car with the camera out the front of the car with two antennas on top, because we needed GPS apparently, and you need two antennas for that. So wires going out. The modem, we hung it around the rear view mirror with lights flashing and going up and down, wires hanging out, and this camera looking out the front of the car. Sounds perfect, right? We're like, it's working, let's go. We wanted to go to the meeting and pull up in the meeting, hey, check this out. So we're out of time, get it all set up, these wires, everything, and I take the key to the car, and you've got to power it up. We powered it up off the cigarette lighter. And when you take the key out, then the cigarette lighter loses power. And so we had the little key and then the key fob for the ignition. And so there was no way to power the system without leaving the keys there. Well, we didn't want to leave the keys there because that could be a problem, right? So there was the key and the fob, and there was this big piece of leather that connected the two, and you couldn't separate them. So we're out of time. I'm looking around. Dave, do you have a knife? Do you have scissors? Do you have anything? He's like, no, I don't have anything. What are we going to do? And he says, you got to chew the strap. And I said, I got to chew the strap? He's like, yeah, you got to chew the strap. And my mind goes to, in my hand, this key with this leather strap on it, and I'm thinking, how many pockets has this been in as a rental car? How many sweaty hands have held this key? How many germs are on this thing? And so I just started chewing the strap. And he's like, hurry up, you gotta go faster, we're gonna be late. So I chew the strap, get it all the way through, we run to the meeting. So on your chairs there's a little pouch. We've got a keychain and embossed in it, I don't know if embossed is the right word, printed in it is chew the strap. So it's now one of our values in the company is chew the strap, because you do whatever it takes, no matter what. You got to get it done. Well, we go to the meeting, spend a few hours there, great meeting, the video worked. We leave the meeting, come back down, we're walking, and we're coming to turn the corner, and there's no traffic on the street, the cross street there. We turn the corner, and you've seen in the movies, like where there's black Suburbans everywhere, and they've shut the road down, and they're like pulling out the SWAT team with the bomb squad with the robot coming down. They thought this car was going to blow up the White House. because it had just lights and everything going on. And we walk up, they're like, "Get out of here, what are you doing?" We're like, "Oh, no, that's our car, we're good." And this guy comes over, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And we're like, "Oh, no, we just had a meeting with the Secret Service, we're good, it's our car, we're going to go home." And they're like, "Who'd you meet with?" And they call up there, and they're like, "Yeah, those idiots, they're with us." He's like, "Can you not do that ever again when you come to the White House?" We're like, "Yeah, we promise." So, never quit. Chew the strap. Get it done. So that's a... All right, next one. Believe. When you hear the word believe, you've got to understand, in our company, we went 15 years bootstrapping. Cash crunch nonstop for 15 years. Every pay period is wondering, where is payroll coming from? You know, you get done with one and you're worried about the next one. 15 years of that. It's painful. It hurts. For some reason, we just kept at it. We kept growing. We would have these painful experiences with finances, and then we'd get this great story from a customer, and it just kept us going. When I say believe, it's believe in a number of things. Believe in the product. Believe the value that it provides to customers. Believe in the people that we work with, that they will accomplish their job and responsibility. There's another part to believe, which has been valuable for me in this journey, in this process. I'll tell you a story. There's one of the things that we do is we work with Department of Transportations in a number of states. And we put up these cameras on the side of the road. You've seen them when you drive out in the middle of nowhere. There's a pole with a solar panel on it and a camera and a box at the bottom. A lot of those are ours, especially in the remote areas. And we provide that live streaming video so they can get in and check snow conditions to know how to manage the snow and the trucks that are going out. And we would do the installs. We own the equipment, and we would do these installs ourselves. And so these poles that we used were 37-foot poles. They weigh about a little over 2,000 pounds, and they were cement. And the top is like 6 inches to the base, which is about 14 inches at the base. So you can imagine this. It's on a long trailer. It's a big thing. We have a bucket truck that would pick it up and place it in. And I went to work one day, and it was kind of rainy and snowy and cold in the middle of the winter. And I don't have a lot of sympathy. I probably should, but the crew that's going out and installing, I don't have a lot of sympathy because Bob and I started off doing the installs ourselves. And so I spent plenty of time in the freezing cold digging holes and trying to get the install done. And so there's no sympathy from me to say, hey, it's cold today, don't go out. Just my attitude is get it done, right? And so I pulled into the parking lot and I saw the crew leaving. And they had this, it's a 40-foot trailer with the bucket truck and everything, and they were leaving. And it was miserable. And I thought to myself, they shouldn't go today. Something was telling me they shouldn't go. And so I was like, got to put that aside. Go, get it done. That's how we make money. That's how we grow the company. And so I went and parked. They left. I walked into the office, and Bob was in there. And I said, hey, where are they going? And he said, they're going up to Kaysville, putting a system right on I-15. And I said, okay, great. Waited a little bit, and then I said, Bob, I don't feel good about this. I don't think they should go today. Something's wrong. Bob's kind of has the same attitude as me. Let's get it done. He's like, no, today's the day. We got the guys here. Let's just go do it. And I said, no, something's wrong. And Bob says, well, if you think something's wrong, I'll call him. So he calls him, and they were at a gas station filling up to head up. And he said, hey, Ryan wants you to come back. And their response was, no, we're going to go get it done. And so Bob comes back. He's like, they're good. They're going to go get it done. They'll be fine. It's a one-day up and back on the same day. And I said, no, call him back. Tell him to come back. So he calls him and says, Ryan wants you to come back. Don't go. And so they said they weren't happy about it. They wanted to get the job done. He says, okay, we'll come back. So we get going. A little bit later, Bob comes in and says, hey, we got a problem. Our shop is on 8th North, just off of 8th North, and there's a little hill on the west side that comes up. And he said, they dropped the pole on the road, right on 8th North, right outside our office. I said, they dropped the pole? They said, yeah, it slid off the back of the truck onto the road. This is a 37-foot chunk of cement, 2,000 pounds, and it slid off the trailer and landed on the pole as they went up that little incline. And I was like, oh, man, that's bad, right? So anyway, we run out there. They get it loaded back on the truck and came in. And one of the lead guys came into me, and he said, and I won't forget it, he said, I don't know what God you listen to, but keep listening to him because it saved us today. And I thought about that, and when I look at believe, we believe in a lot of things. We put faith and hope in a lot of things, and that was one example for me that very important, because I just think, if I think of the way that they were going, the elevation at the same increase in the freeway was at Point of the Mountain, right? And I think, can you imagine that pole sliding off on I-15 at Point of the Mountain? Could have been it could have been catastrophic. So I always am grateful for things that happen that are out of our control. Innovate. Next one. We are in a company that, as we've grown, we just listen to the customers. What are they looking for? We had gone to, kind of back in 2009, 2010, we went to UDOT, and they said, hey, we know you do these construction sites, these different things with live video. We want to put these out in the middle of nowhere. And so we were in this meeting, and Bob was there with me. They said, hey, we want to put these out in the middle of nowhere. There's no power. There's no communications, but we want your live video. And I said, great, we can do that. We'll figure it out. And let's work on a project together and do this. And we left that meeting, and Bob said, what are you talking about? You just committed us to something that we can't do. And I said, well, power, let's figure out solar power. Communication, let's go figure out cellular or point-to-point or something. We'd never done that before. It was always like pointing to a mountain where there was communication and there was power there. And so that innovation, that idea of leaving that meeting and going back and getting on Google and trying to figure out how solar works was like, Bob, you can put a solar panel on and it'll like charge batteries and we can run it off of that. You don't need to plug it in. And it was like blowing my mind. And we can make this work. And so I've always, they'll make fun of me because I never say no. If a customer is asking for something, I never say no. I will always explain, hey, we've never done that before, but we're willing to try. We're willing to put the time in and see if we can get it to work. And when we do that with the customer has buy-in because it's part of their idea, right? It's their idea and we're making it happen. And so it creates opportunity. I think too many times in business, we say, hey, that hasn't been done before, or that's hard, and we want to just say, no, we're not going to do that. I thrive on doing the things that haven't been done before. I'd love going to a meeting with a big company and calling Bob and the engineers after and say, hey, we got to design this. And we got to figure this out because it's automatically, we've never done that before. How are we going to do it? Let's say, I don't know. We're going to do it though. It's if we keep that innovation, it's how we grow, how we expand and pick up new opportunities. Because it's all about opportunity, right? As we innovate, we build new opportunities, which allows us to continue to stay relevant and pivot. So, innovation. Be humble. We've had the pleasure last year in 2020, with the pandemic and everything going on, we've been able to grow the company and continue to increase revenue and headcount in the company. To give you an idea, we started January 1st, 2020 with 104 full-time employees. Starting in about June, we have, till now, we're at about, what, Brandon, 230? 250 employees, so a lot of growth. I had said before, up until this point, we have not had a sales team. We haven't had a marketing team. It's all been network and referral base, which is an inbound interest. And so these are key positions that we've hired in the growth. And as we've brought people in, we've made it really clear the culture that we have in the company. We don't have an executive team that's there to be praised and honored. We have an executive team that's there to get in the trenches and fight and win. It's hard. Business is hard, right? It's hard, especially with these unforeseen changes in economies. We just had a meeting recently. Some of the parts that we build, we've got a 52-week lead time now, a full year for little capacitors. You know, how do you plan business around that? How do you project? So these are all challenging things. And we want our energy in the company to go in to the company. We don't want the energy going into the politics and the ego and the drama that a lot of times you can see in companies, especially as we grow and expand. And one of the most rewarding things for me is, as we've hired these people, professionals, amazing people, they come in and they go through the interview process, and I'm usually one of the last ones to meet with them, and they'll say, this is a different vibe here. There's something special happening here. And they hear it from everyone, and they feel it. And then when they come and work, a month or two later, they'll come back and they'll say, man, I love it here. Everybody's in it for everybody to win. And that's just the vibe that we've got. That's the culture that we've got. And our challenge now is to keep that culture. It's going to change, right? We're going to add and grow, and we should learn and adopt the skills and attributes of the people that come in, but we want to keep that culture in the company. I look at it as I'm not a smart person. I try to surround myself with smart people, but I also try to surround myself with good people that have good attributes, because we spend so much time working with people, and they're going to wear off on me, and I'm going to wear off on them. So I want people that have good morals and make good choices in their life, because I'm going to take that home to my family, and my kids are going to they're going to have the same attributes of the people that I associate with. And so it's important for us as a company to be really selective on who we bring in and continue to feed that environment. I'll say, as we've grown the company, back in the day, the company is truly, like I said, a bootstrap company. We started in my garage. That was the manufacturing shop. I'd get kids after high school would come over and work in the garage and build the units, and then we'd go out and install them the next day. I mean, that's the story, right? It grew from there. we in that, with that cash crunch all the time, you're just so focused. You're so head down, just trying to get it done and trying to survive and grow. But as the company became more stable, my objectives changed and my passions changed until most recently, especially with these new hires, new people coming in. I now feel this desire to have this company and build this company that that benefits the families that are associated with it, that work there, that benefit the customers that we serve, and to create that environment. It's a responsibility that we have as leaders in the company to create that environment. There's safety in an environment that they can feel comfortable with. People look for leaders to create that environment of comfort and safety, and it's important that we do that in the companies that we're in. So I look forward to the future in the company. It's exciting. We're this no-name company out of Orem, Utah, that has really an unbelievable customer list, and nobody's heard of us, and we love that. Big box retail, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Kroger, Bass Pro, to customers like Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon. We just reach out and provide these solutions to all these companies, and it's awesome. So I want to show one more video just in closing, then we'll have some question and answer if that time allows. Last year, we know that all of the political and social and everything going on last June, people started coming to us saying, well, what's the statement of our company? What statement are we going to make to the world? And I said, what statement are we going to make? We're going to continue to do good business and grow. That's our statement. No, we need to make a statement. So some of the guys, Dave and some of the people on the team, made this video, and it's awesome. I love it. We're a patriotic company. We love being an American-made company, and this video speaks to it. This is for July 4th.
At LiveView Technologies, we experience America through thousands of different lenses. On farms and ranches, in small towns and large cities, across all 50 states. We celebrate and value your joys, your sacrifices, your dreams. We treasure the American ideal of having different views, seen through different lenses, that make us all uniquely American. We see America through the lens of dignity, kindness, hope, love, respect, and freedom. The freedom to do better, to be better. We are an American company. And we are proud and grateful to be American. God bless America.
We've got time for a couple of questions for Ryan. I know she's been shy.
Yeah.
With the amount of data that you're bringing and the things you're talking about, how are you ensuring that data is utilized appropriately?
Yeah, good question. We brought our CTO to answer that. No, so good question. Some of the customers, a lot of the customers that we have, cybersecurity is a big deal, right? We built an enterprise level platform to address that issue. So the way that we've structured it, anytime you're dealing with live video and that kind of data, it's sensitive information. We've structured it in a way to keep it secure. Steve can go into a lot more detail on how we do that, but that's one of the selling features that we have is the cybersecurity associated. In addition to that, we collect so much data, environmental data. Imagine parking lots of big box retail. The people that are going in and out, the times that they're going in and out, the flows. You know, we often hear of active shooters in those type of environments. All of that data is critical. We're just now beginning to take that data and combine it in a way that we can add more value to the customer. Before it was live video and alerting events for intruders coming in, fulfilling its purpose, right, of the system. But now we're finding that we can do so much more with that data, and that data becomes so valuable and important to continue to go back to the customer and say, hey, look at this. This is an anomaly that we see. So that's really probably one of the next phases for us as a company is to now take that data and do more with it. So, good question. Yeah. Our solution is very specific. Part of what we do, you could see kind of our highlight of a product is that mobile unit, solar powered cellular connectivity, and so it's eyes on very quick. So we can move, we'll work with emergency services and police departments where they'll have that mobile unit and an unskilled person can take that out and have it up and running in less than 30 minutes. And so they might take it to a park or to a known, drug house, different environments. And so I think the niche for us is that mobility combined with the platform to make it very simple and easy to use. So we watch competitors and we learn from them. Google Street View, I don't see it really as a competitor for us with what our customers are looking for right now, but we continue to watch all of them. So thank you. Yeah.
So where do you see LiveView in 3 years?
LiveView in 3 years. As you look at what we're doing, we come across as security, which we are. But really what we've done is we've created a platform, an enterprise level platform for IoT devices on the edge. So right now we use cameras, we use license plate recognition, gunshot. But as it starts to expand out into all different types of industries, there's so many IoT devices, and we're the glue, we're the platform that brings all of those together, and we get them to work in harmony with each other. So that expansion into being that true platform for all devices is the future for us.
Well, Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, it's, Ryan, it's exciting to see how much you've grown over the course of the last 15 years. We look forward to watching LiveView Technology continue to grow, and we wish you the best of luck and best of success to you and your entire team. A couple other housekeeping items before we wrap up today. A big thanks to Parsons Bailey, our focus sponsor for this month. Thanks again to all of the guests that have joined us today. We'd love to have you join us as members. So again, please feel free to talk to Linda Blake or any of our board members. And then I wanted to share with you a couple of upcoming events that we've got on the calendar. As I mentioned earlier today, our speaker series takes place the second Tuesday of every month. So for June 8th, we have Jeremiah Bradley, chairman and co-founder of Zaya Active. And then our final breakfast for our program year on Tuesday, July 13th, we've got Weston Lunsford, CEO of Dental Intelligence. So we hope to see all of you at our upcoming breakfast series. And then our golf tournament is scheduled for Thursday, September 16th at Eaglewood. Now CFO is our sponsor, is our title sponsor of that event. So special thanks to Now CFO. We are accepting sponsors and foursomes right now, so we hope to see all of you. We were sorry we had to take last year off for the golf tournament, but are very excited about bringing this year's tournament back. And then just lastly, if you parked here in the building, Linda out at the registration table will have validations. And I want to again thank all of you for being with us this morning, and we hope to see you on Tuesday, June 8th. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.